Here the students have no need to study other than eating, drinking, and playing. Their daily work is simply to apply cream to their faces, wash their faces in front of a monitor and wait for the green light to come on. If they miss the time to wash their faces, the red light will flash and an alarm will sound. No matter how the girls explain, the guards will drag them away and they will never return. 16 years passed in the blink of an eye and the girls grew into beautiful women. For years, the instructors brainwashed them and kept showing them brainwashing videos. Even if the computer breaks down, they cannot leave the classroom until the class is over. The instructors also say that the outside world has already collapsed and the air is filled with poisonous gas. Therefore, you need to take certain vitamins every night before going to sleep to stay healthy. As they get older, they move to higher floors. This means that graduation is approaching and they will be adopted by wealthy families. Everyone was particularly excited, but not Sophia. She was exhausted from this life. Vivian was the most excited because she had the best grades in the class. However, the next day, Sophia found Vivian and carefully told her not to take the vitamins that night. Vivian looked confused, just as Sophia was about to explain. Another classmate came in, so Sophia stopped talking. Vivian was still a little doubtful. But when it came time to take her medicine, she pretended to take it and then sneaked off to the bathroom where she threw it up in the toilet. However, she soon regretted doing this because by doing so she had broken the school rules. She felt very guilty at night. As usual, Vivian said goodnight to her classmates, but this time no one answered. At that moment, Sophia got up and told Vivian these people won't wake up because the vitamins they took are actually a powerful sleeping pill. At first, Vivian didn't believe her, just as Sophia was about to tell her the truth. After seeing her reaction, they heard a noise outside. Sophia hurriedly told Vivian to pretend to be asleep and then went back to her own bed and pretended to be asleep. After that, the instructor came into the room with the guards. At the instructor's instruction, the guards dragged Vivian and another girl into a secret room. The instructor then brought in an elderly couple and introduced the two girls to them as if they were selling a product. The grandfather drooled over the beautiful Vivian, while the grandmother continued to lament her aging face in front of the mirror. In the end, the couple chose another girl, and Vivian was taken back to her room. At that moment, Vivian realized that there was a dark secret hidden in this school. This school was a terrible place. Every day the girls were trained to wash their faces, to grow up healthy and beautiful, and then to be sold at a high price. When Vivian learned this truth, she and Sophia made up their minds to escape. However, to their horror, Sophia revealed an even darker truth. She had stopped taking vitamins when she was 13 years old. In the 3 years since then, Sophia had discovered that there were 4 classes at the school and every night while the other girls were asleep. There was a cycle of them moving around, taking turns. However, there was a specific time of day when everyone was asleep at night, and the other girls would sneak out and take turns being active every day. There was a specific time of day when everyone was asleep, and that was the only chance to escape. However, in order to do this, they needed a gate pass. This was because the large gate would be locked at that time. Vivian suggested that they tell the others about this. But Sophia immediately refused. She was afraid that the school would become suspicious of their actions. However, their movements were soon noticed by their classmates. They were dissatisfied with Vivian's conspicuousness, and seeing that she was now hiding something, they thought this was their chance for revenge. One of the classmates, who was convinced that Vivian was hiding something, called the instructor. The instructor came to the dormitory immediately and took Vivian, who knew nothing about it, out of the room by force then. He locked her in an iron cage. Vivian was trembling with fear and worried that the plan would be exposed. That night, Sophia made a rope out of bed sheets and waited for the guards to come and check on the girls as they slept. Then she attacked the guard from behind and strangled him with the bedsheet. However, the guard was big and strong and Sophia's plan failed. The guard quickly grabbed her by the neck and although Sophia struggled, the guard knocked her to the ground with one blow. When the guard saw that Sophia was not moving, he hurriedly came to check on her. In the meantime, Sophia picked up the iron from the floor and hit the guard on the head as hard as she could, knocking him out. As she was about to quickly take the card and try to rescue Vivian, the alarm suddenly went off in order not to get Vivian involved. Sophia had no choice but to make the decision to escape on her own the next day. All the girls were gathered together and Vivian was also released. The instructor told them that Sophia had tried to escape the night before and had been caught in the act. However, despite a thorough search, the access card was not found and the instructor suspected that Sophia had hidden it on one of her friends. The instructor told them that if the access card was not handed over, one of them would be punished at random and the search would continue until the card was found. The principal was very ruthless and forced all the students to take sleeping pills. Under the instructor's watchful eye, Vivian had no choice but to take the pills, knowing the consequences. The effects of the pills took effect immediately, and she felt sluggish and dazed. To keep herself awake, she kept pinching her palms with a hair clip. In the process, Vivian accidentally found the access card on the bed. At that moment, she realized that Sophia had left her a chance to. The instructor asked her where Sophia was. Seeing that Vivian was too anxious, the instructor took out the tranquilizer. Vivian, in desperation, picked up a table lamp and knocked the instructor to the ground. She then injected the tranquilizer into the instructor's body with the instructor's access card in her hand. Vivian was now free to move about. She could have left quietly, but after careful consideration, she decided to rescue Sophia first and escape from this hell together. She went to the lowest floor and freed Sophia from her iron cage. The two of them happened to wander into a secret room. There were 3 bodies lined up, and the names written on the bodies matched the names of the missing girls. Trembling, they opened the bag, and the next scene they saw was so horrible that it cannot be expressed in words. Trembling, they opened the bag. And what they saw next was so horrible that it made them cry. These girls had had their faces cruelly removed. Vivian happened to find a video and learn the shocking truth. The apocalypse had not come, and this place was not a refuge, but a face-swapping facility for the wealthy. The girls were being kept here to protect their skin from the sun and the weather. When Vivian learned this, she only wanted to escape from this place as soon as possible, however. The kind-hearted Sophia had a different idea. She wanted to save the other girls too. Without listening to Vivian's protests, Sophia gathered everyone together and told them the truth. However, the girls didn't believe her. Some of them even tried to call the guards. At that moment, Vivian dragged the instructor into the room and tore out a piece of her hair. There was a seam on the scalp, and the instructor's face had also been replaced with another face. The girls finally believed what they were told and locked the instructor in an iron cage. After that, Vivian led the group to the exit. However, the moment they opened the door, the alarm went off. The girls panicked and ran away, but the guards quickly caught up with them. Amidst the chaos, Vivian and Sophia managed to hide in a room. The principal then appeared and tried to deceive them with lies once again. Vivian smiled a creepy smile and raised the scalpel high and cut herself in the face as hard as she could. The principal was completely discouraged and left defeated, unable to do anything. The next day the door to their room was broken down. The police appeared and the officers who had rushed to the scene after receiving the call rescued Vivian and Sophia when they went outside and were bathed in sunlight for the first time. They were overwhelmed by a mixture of excitement and fear. The outside world was full of the unknown. But the two of them believed that everything would be better from here on.